What's this? Why aren't you asleep, boy? That fool Flora cast a spell to put everyone in this castle into a deep, deep slumber.
Who are you?
Why, I am Maleficent, as all who dwell in this kingdom would know. Now you must reciprocate the introduction. Who are you?
I'm Terra. What do you know about those monsters? The ones who attacked me.
Now why would I give a thought to creatures so base, so inconsequential?
Well, they are base. That's for sure. Anyway, I'm looking for someone. Ever heard of a man named Xehanort?
That name is not familiar to me. Is he an outsider like yourself? Oh, but wait. I do remember someone leaving the castle.
Tell me, what was he doing there?
I couldn't say. I can only be certain he was not from this kingdom. If you're curious, go see the castle for yourself. There, the entrance is past the bridge.
Thanks.
Perhaps he did speak about imprisoning the light. The light could be so many things. Could he have meant Princess Aurora?
Aurora.
Yes, pay no attention to that mysterious witch vanishing again into a portal of darkness, you silly fool. Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully. Welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. And now you're beginning to see the crux of it, despite the fact, and okay, to kind of get this out of the way now, I understand that there is a whole sort of thing about, you know, Terra falling for obviously evil people. A very repeated theme is, you'll be seeing Terra dealing mainly with the villains of the specific Disney worlds. Now, Xehanort you could at least slightly excuse, because even though, again, the game seems to imply that Terra and Aqua have never met Xehanort before, they do at least know from, you know, secondhand gossip that, you know, he was Master Eraqus' best friend from when they were kids, and there is a lot of history between them. He's a Keyblade Master and, you know, deserves due respect, you know, respecting your elders, all that sort of thing. Especially a lot more important in Japanese culture than it is in the West, at least in recent years. You know, boys don't call their fathers Sir! And they don't reciprocate any fucking things. Oh yeah. Put him in the army, that's what I fucking say. But on a serious note though, yeah, you could say that Terra's respecting his elders, and, you know, trying to be polite and respectful to, you know, the natives of other worlds. Maleficent, on the other hand, warning signs should be going off, which again is why I brought it up in Aqua's story. How much social experience did Terra and you know, by extension, Aqua and Ventus, Ventus, well, kind of exclusionary from this, but how much did they really have before going off on their own? Is this their first time legitimately being out there in the worlds, or is it simply a factor of... well, again, I don't want to say bad writing, because again, that's just sort of like an instant excuse of like, oh my god, this game is literally so terrible, bad writing, am I right? Oh yeah, that's gonna get me all the fucking YouTube clicks. But again, part of the problem is that, again, and I stated this beforehand during Aqua's story, is like, it wants to be Revenge of the Sith, but it should have started at episode 1, so again, we don't really get a lot of grounding as to who Aqua and Terra's characters really are, or what they were like growing up. We saw bits of it with Sora and Riku growing up in Kingdom Hearts 1, and, you know, little bits here and there, like in Wee Bit in Chain of Memories, and, you know, throughout the series and whatever. But we don't get that for Terra and Aqua, which again, unless Missing Link fills in the blanks, or possibly we get some stuff in Kingdom Hearts 4, I'm not really too sure what exactly we have to gain from any of this. Like, again, were they kept safely away from the worlds because Eraqus was worried about them, you know, falling to outside influences or getting influenced by darkness, or was it just a case of natural-born curiosity, really? Because again, it's, I don't know, Terra's naivety is just, it's a facet of his character, and it does play a part into why he keeps making a lot of mistakes and does need to be watched, as he does mention in the Keyblade Graveyard, but the problem here is that, well, again, if this was the case pretty much all along for Terra, he did need to be watched, so why didn't Eraqus go along with him to make sure that, you know, Terra doesn't go astray again, or why didn't Aqua go with him to keep an eye on him? I mean, at the risk of getting cynical, it's part of the reason why Xehanort only wins, because everybody else has to be written intentionally dumber than him. power. But anyway, that's enough cynicism for the time being. In the meantime, however, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Terra does deal with the villains directly. He meets with them on more amicable terms, although it's less amicable terms and more, there's a sucker born every minute, and the villain's like, hey, look at this gullible dunce, he's got a nice body, and he's got a badass keyblade to boot. Let's manipulate that guy. Just like that Xenogears dude told me to. Although, I mean, really, the only villain that Xehanort directly interacts with in terms of the Disney quartet is mainly Maleficent, but that's only because this is pretty much his way of kickstarting the plot of Kingdom Hearts 1, so there we go, explanation for that, I suppose. But anything after that point, though, was primarily up to, well, yeah, just random chance, really, having Terra grow strong enough so that Xehanort can use him for his evil ways. So yeah, there is a bit of parallels going on between Ventus and Terra, actually. They needed them to grow strong enough. Actually, it seems like the only wrench in Xehanort's plans was Aqua, but even then, it's quite surprising that he never really found a use for her. I mean, I suppose the idea was that he'd pretty much just get her out of the way, or use her as the catalyst of jealousy between friends, but it never quite pans out that way, at least despite that one scene in the, reactor core of Radiant Garden, so I don't know, plans within plans that didn't really work out, I guess? I don't know. I mean, I could delve further into Xehanort's plans, but that does delve into things we haven't quite seen at this stage, so yeah, really I'll just let the cutscene speak for itself and show you Terra's naivety at its worst.
This feels so familiar.
Her heart is filled with light, not the slightest touch of darkness. Just the kind of heart I need.
For what?
Imagine with me the most glorious of futures. 7 of the purest hearts, each overflowing with light. When brought together, they grant the power to rule all worlds.
What do you mean?
Why, that key you hold. The Keyblade, is it called?
Where did you learn that name?
That trinket is the only way to obtain the hearts.
No more games! Where is Master Xehanort?
Impudence will get you nowhere, child. If you wish to learn more, you must retrieve the heart of Aurora.
And why would I ever want to do that?
It's not a matter of why, but of will. In your heart, there is darkness just waiting to be awakened.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Perhaps not yet. But I have power over sleep. And I can awaken what's inside you. Then you will be free to be who you truly are.
Remember, the darkness lurks in every heart. Darkness is our foe. Would that we could be rid of it. You must destroy it. Push the darkness down. Give it no quarter in your heart.
Here it is, just what I've waited for. To think that all he spoke of was and will be true.
What? How did I... What did I do? What did you do?
You speak as if I pulled some invisible strings. No, you couldn't be further from the truth, child. I simply whispered to the darkness you already held inside.
How could I do this?
Then!
Yes. Now, you want to know where Xehanort went. Well, that I cannot answer. He disappeared into the darkness. But now I know the Keyblade is necessary to gather hearts. Join me. Collect 6 more hearts of pure light. Then we will rule all the worlds together!
You seem to be mixed up. I'm a peacekeeper, not a tyrant.
For a peacekeeper, you're off to an exceptionally poor start. Remember this. The darkness in your heart cannot be held back by force or strength. Now, my work here is done, as is yours. Wasn't there someone you needed to chase?
Wait!
The Unversed. They're gonna bring down the castle. I have to do something.
Okay, now, you know, just this once compared to a lot of other times in the game, this is probably about the worst thing that Terra actually does. And even then, it wasn't really him in the driver's seat. It was Maleficent, although some outside sources claim it was Xehanort, but I'm not really too sure how true that is, but yeah. I mean, I guess this was basically the insurance policy that Maleficent had against, you know, people who have darkness in their heart, and I suppose what she planned to use against Riku if he ever turned against her, but, you know, lack of foresight, I suppose. But yeah, to kind of go into it again, this is pretty much the big mistake that, you know, Maleficent tells Aqua, and there's like, oh no, Terra, you're going to darkness or whatever, to sort of split the trio apart, but at the same time, though, this, I feel, was kind of understandable, and if Terra explained this in Radiant Garden, I mean, I guess you could make the argument that he was embarrassed that he fucked up, but at the same time, though, it does also kind of run the gamut of being, well, you know, a factor of, okay, look, you fucked up once, so this is kind of a big sign. Maybe we should come with you so we can ensure that, you know, you don't go astray again. At least in a smarter game, that's how things would have happened, but nay. I mean, there are a few things that do happen between now and then, so again, there is a little bit more context as to why Terra acts the way that he does. But even in that case, though, there is still, like, a buttload of contrivances that really do irk me about Birth by Sleep's story, and especially stuff that, you know, Terra earnestly wanting to make up for his mistakes, you know, during the Mark of Mastery exam, I feel like are steps that he would have taken, because again, he's not quite completely off the path of distrust for Eriquis or anything else, and again, Xehanort hasn't sunk his claws in deep enough for Terra to completely trust him over Eriquis, so really, I don't know. Again, Xehanort wins because everybody else is stupid. Go figure. Also, is this meant to imply that, I mean, again, Maleficent did say that everybody in the castle is asleep, hence why there are no NPCs around, but I thought the whole idea was that it was only Aurora who was knocked out due to, you know, pricking her finger on the spindle. Or, well, I mean, okay, we are going to do something involving the spindle as we get down to the castle floor, but I thought that was just Aurora, not everybody else in the castle, or whatever. Maybe it's possibly an adaptational change for Kingdom Hearts, and by the way, we also forged a D-Link with Maleficent, and I had a joke ready and ripped roaring to go, but, whatever. There we go. I'm pretty sure I call my finisher Pelvic Thrust. The basic finisher, that is, so, yeah. Pretty freaking sweet. Anyway, I figured I might as well talk about a bit of combat, since we don't really have much else to talk about at the moment. I'll get back to the D-Links a little bit later when we show it off, but yeah, critical impact. Terra's basic, you know, command style if you're using a lot of physical attacks, and, yeah, pretty good. Once it's fully leveled up, deals an AoE effect, and, yeah, quite powerful, pretty sweet. And again, when you do get to dish out the damage, Terra's playstyle can actually be quite fun. Anyway, this is Maleficent's D-Link. She basically has like a lot of darkness abilities, green fire, and yeah. Her level 1 finisher isn't exactly too useful, but her maxed out finisher is actually quite sweet. And you'll be seeing what that is later. But yes, the joke's on you, bitch! For we stole your D-Link! Although you stole Aurora's heart, so yeah, kind of buggery, really. We finally get to use the lightning storm that Maleficent used on Sora in Kingdom Hearts 1 during that brief boss fight. Continuity. Bonk. But yeah, Maleficent is pretty much the last D-Link we're going to be showing off. I'll show off the level up finisher a little bit later on, but in the meantime though, yeah, D-Links are going bye-bye. Until the Keyblade Graveyard at the very least. In that case, we'll pretty much do our final say goodbye to our friends by using their D-Links in battle. Now, I think we might have already fought a more difficult version of this boss beforehand in the Mirage Arena with Ventus, but I can't quite remember. And yeah, you're also about to see the one... I believe it's the one death I have in the run. Oh no, wait, no, I think technically I died twice, although that's technically, fittingly enough, also in the Mirage Arena, so... yeah. It's mainly because I'm a little bit more low level than I should be at this stage in the game, so, yeah. And the thing about Terra's playstyle, as I'm going to elucidate on right now, is we use pelvic thrust against this behemoth of a spindle with legs. Because I guess that's how unversed work, I suppose. Yeah, with Terra's playstyle, you also want to favor defense just as much as you do offense. Terra is a tank, but he's also very slow moving. Which is why you're going to use abilities like, you know, Sonic Shadow and, particularly a lot of the Rush D-Link, Rush D-Links? No, I was about to call it Rush Duels because of fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Jesus. No, you have to use a lot of the Rush Shot Locks in order to get as much distance as possible. You want to make sure that you knock out this thing's spindle and leave it prone. It does also have a secondary attack where it uses its prick to... God. How fitting when I'm using pelvic thrust. Yeah, well, I mean, basically that's what it is, I suppose. The needle. You want to make sure that it doesn't use its needle attack on you, where it pretty much subdues you, stuns you, and, you know, deals poison damage, but... yeah, otherwise you get shit like this happening. Make sure you're adept at blocking. It will save your life. Unlike me, where I'm pretty much just going at it with the thought of, dang, gotta rush it! Keyblade! Eriquus, I'm not giving in to the darkness. Please ignore that Sonic Shadow. I swear to God I'm a user of the light. I swear I didn't steal Aurora's heart. No, I didn't take the cookies from the cookie jar when I was 8 years old. You gotta believe me, Eriquus. Why did Aqua tell on me? Oh, now I'm gonna be cleaning up Eriquus' study for the next 2 weeks. Woe is Terra. Woe is Terra indeed. Game over. Oh, by the way, and notice that because we were killed by the Unversed and not the Heartless, they don't take our hearts, so you don't see the heart icon floating above Terra. Interesting little detail, huh? But yeah, I leveled up for a little bit more, and, you know, the thing about using D-Links, I should have mentioned this beforehand, or I probably did mention it, but I forgot, thank Nomine, is that, again, whenever you use D-Links, that also means that you get a free heal in a pinch, so, yeah. It is actually worth using this, and the key to using Aqua is that she also has some powerful healing abilities, and also Auto Life, which I actually show off for the first time here. I didn't actually know about this in the... well, I know, okay, it's not that I didn't know about it, because it pretty much tells you when you select the D-Link, but, yeah, I never really had a chance to show it off until now. Best thing I can really say is that, either level up a little bit more so you're at least ready for this boss fight, or at least make sure that you have Aqua's D-Link just for a bit of extra security, because when you are doing level runs, Birth by Sleep's combat system is a little bit, well, again, it's clunky, but at the same time, though, it's also a factor of, being able to play defensively, because Birth by Sleep doesn't let you bum rush as much as you would in any other Kingdom Hearts game, so... yeah. Just play defensively, or if not, just keep your distance and take pot shots until you can at least shotlock the boss into oblivion. Embrace the darkness, motherfucker. I mean, no, Terra, don't embrace the darkness. Don't! I said don't! Enjoy the cutscene.
It's my fault her light was stolen. It was because I was weak. I'm sorry. I'll get your light back. Once I learn to stand up against the darkness. Why would Master Xehanort imprison the light? The purest hearts of light. Do they hold the answer?
Seven pure hearts, each completely void of darkness. Such a search may take some time.
Hang on a second, Terra said that he was gonna get Aurora's light back, which is in Maleficent's castle, and then he leaves? Well, pretty much look forward to that being woven all throughout Terra's story in a nutshell. So on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and next time, more Birth by Sleep goodness. Catch you later.